The U.S. Navy has commissioned USS Indianapolis, its new surface combatant, at Burns Harbor along Lake Michigan. Thousands of people showed up Saturday to see the U.S. Navy put its newest combat ship into active service. The ceremony marking the ship's entry into the Navy's active fleet was started at 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time. It's the fourth military vessel carrying the Indianapolis name. The second one is best known. It was sunk by a Japanese submarine in 1945 while returning from a Pacific island, where it delivered key components for the atomic bomb. Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb stated, "The USS Indianapolis brings with it a very special, in fact, an emotional meaning for Hoosiers, and it's not just because it's named the Indianapolis." Navy Commander Joseph Mitson said, "In July 1945, Indianapolis completed a top-secret, high-speed trip to deliver components of Little Boy, the first nuclear weapon ever used in combat." In this video, Defense Updates reports on commissioning of USS Indianapolis, LCS-17 Littoral Combat Ship. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by War Thunder. If you are, like us, fascinated by military vehicles and technology, I recommend you give War Thunder a try. It's a military vehicle combat game which you can download and play for free on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. It has a huge variety of more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s, which you can take to battle on land, in the air, and at sea on more than 80 theaters of war. War Thunder's been kind enough to offer all Defense Updates viewers a special bonus, which will grant you a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account time for registering using our link in the description below. So take the plunge and join more than 20 million players from around the world. The Littoral Combat Ship, LCS, is a set of two classes, the Independence and Freedom. Construction of Freedom class is spearheaded by Lockheed Martin at Fincantieri Marinette Marine Shipyard in Wisconsin, while that of Independence class ships is led by Austal USA in Alabama. These are relatively small surface vessels and primarily designed for operations near shore. During the late 1990s, the U.S. Navy understood that cruisers and destroyers would be vulnerable to attacks in shallow coastal waters. Large warships like cruisers and destroyers are designed for open ocean warfare and not for shallow water where these can be targeted by high-speed boats, missile-firing fast attack craft, small submarines, sea mines, and land and sea-launched airship missiles. The idea behind the Littoral Combat Ship, as described by former Secretary of the Navy Gordon R. England, is to create a small, fast, maneuverable, and relatively inexpensive member of the DDX family of ships. If required, these ships will absorb an attack and protect the much more expensive cruiser or destroyers. The LCS is envisioned to be a networked, agile, stealthy surface combatant capable of defeating anti-access and asymmetric threats in coastal waters. Interestingly, the LCS has a modular design. The vessels can be configured with different modules for specific roles that include anti-submarine warfare, mine countermeasures, anti-surface warfare, intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance, homeland defense, maritime intercept, special operations, and logistics. In the long run, the LCSs are expected to progressively replace slower and specialized ships such as minesweepers and amphibious assault ships. USS Indianapolis has a length of 115 meters, that's 378 feet, and a displacement of 3,500 tons when fully loaded. The ship uses two Rolls-Royce MT-30 36 megawatt, that's 48,000 horsepower, gas turbines, and two Colt Peelstick 16 PA6B 6.8 megawatt, 9,100 horsepower, diesel engines to power four Rolls-Royce steerable water jets. The USS Indianapolis has a speed of 47 knots, that's 54 miles per hour or 87 kilometers per hour, and a range of 3,500 nautical miles, which is 6,500 kilometers or 4,000 miles. It accommodates 50 core crew and a total of 65 with mission crew. The design incorporates a large reconfigurable C-frame to allow rapidly interchangeable mission modules, a flight deck with integrated helicopter launch, recovery and handling system, and the capability to launch and recover boats, manned and unmanned, from both the stern and side. The flight deck is 1.5 times larger than that of a standard surface ship and uses a Trigon traversing system to move helicopters in and out of the hangar. The ship has 2 ways to launch and recover various mission packages: a stern ramp and a starboard side door near the waterline. The mission module bay has a 3-axis crane for positioning modules or cargo. USS Indianapolis can carry up to 2 Fire Scouts or 1 Seahawk. The Northrop Grumman MQ-8 Fire Scout is an unmanned autonomous helicopter developed by Northrop Grumman for use by the United States Air Forces. The Fire Scout is designed to provide reconnaissance, situational awareness, aerial fire support, and precision targeting support for ground, air, and sea forces. Fire Scout surveillance and targeting capability is expected to further enhance the LCS's improved lethality. The Sikorsky SH-60 MH-60 Seahawk is a twin turboshaft engine, multi-mission United States Navy helicopter based on the United States Army UH-60 Blackhawk and a member of the Sikorsky S-70 family. The Seahawk can handle anti-submarine warfare, anti-surface warfare, naval special warfare, insertion, search and rescue, combat search and rescue, vertical replenishment, and medical evacuation. In a standard configuration, Freedom-class LCS's armament consists of an 11-cell Raytheon RIM-116B C-RAM missile defense system, BAE Systems Mark 110 57mm naval gun, and Mark 50 lightweight torpedoes launched from torpedo tubes. RIM-116B C-RAM missile defense system can launch Mark 31 rolling airframe missiles that have a range of 9 kilometers and has a speed of Mach 2. The 57mm naval gun is designed for close-range combat and has a range of 1.7 kilometers. Mark 50 torpedo is a U.S. Navy's advanced lightweight torpedo for use against fast, deep-diving submarines. It has a range of 15 kilometers and a speed of 40 knots. USS Indianapolis could be armed with Naval Strike Missiles. Naval Strike Missiles, or NSM, if deployed, will give USS Indianapolis a potent punch and the ability to take on much larger opponents. It's the upgrade of Kongsberg's Penguin short to medium range anti-ship guided missile. The missile has a range of 100 miles or 185 kilometers. NSM is capable of high subsonic speeds. It has sea skim mode by which it travels very close to the surface, making it hard to detect and intercept. It's also designed to maneuver to avoid enemy defenses. It's equipped with 276 pounds or 125 kilogram multi-purpose blast fragmentation warhead. NSM features an imaging IR seeker, which is complemented by inertial GPS navigation. The missile also has a built-in database of representative ship types to distinguish between intended targets and other objects. Importantly, it can be used as an anti-ship missile as well as for taking out land targets. NSM will be placed on the decks of LCSs through a proprietary canister launcher. U.S. Navy has more than 10 supercarriers, 65-plus Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, 25-plus Ticonderoga-class cruisers, as well as several other surface combatants like Wasp-class amphibious assault ship. The powerful warships have made the American Navy's surface fleet to be the most formidable one. The inclusion of USS Indianapolis will help the U.S. Navy operate in constrained places. An apt example will be the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is a strait between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. It provides the only sea passage from the Persian Gulf to the open ocean. It's one of the world's most strategically important choke points. At its narrowest, the strait has a width of only 21 nautical miles, or 39 kilometers. Because of its narrow width, many analysts think that it can be easily secured, and Iran will be able to inflict massive damage on a force consisting of large warships, as those will find it difficult to maneuver. The relatively smaller but very agile LCS like USS Indianapolis will be much better suited for those kinds of situations.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.